the struggle.
We're black. It'll be here tomorrow.
Everything black, blackbird, black moon.
Well, that trailer, it cut part of the title, right? Because it's called Good Times.
Yeah.
Black again.
Black again.
I got 2 episodes in, and I was just like, that's about all I can take. I was like, this is like, I leaving behind whatever is offensive about it. I was like, all right, I already knew that from the trailer. Just judging as a cartoon, it is indicative of all of these adult cartoons that Netflix has, where it's just a lot of loud, a lot of yelling and a lot of cussing. This one just has the extra disadvantage of having really shoddy animation. This animation is lower than what we have for the opening for this show.
Yeah.
Where it's just 3 frames repeated over and over. Just after 2 episodes, I was like, this just feels like these 2 episodes feel like the same episode, and it's just all the same thing, and there's nothing attracting me to come back to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a part of small productions that were animated, and they didn't look amazing, but they had way more character than this, and they look like they give a shit more than this. I know how we like to be kind of ambiguous about how we feel about these things when we give our initial thoughts, and I'll just say, look, I didn't care for this. I have no affinity for Good Times. I didn't grow up with it. I've seen very little of it, but even having seen none of that original show, watching this, I'll just say this did not appeal very much to me, but I watched all 10 episodes, and at first I thought, this is bad, but it can't get that much worse, can it? Can it, Corey?
Well, here's where things get complicated with me. Now, I want everybody to hear me out before anybody starts saying anything, because y'all will hear one word and you will get triggered and y'all will start raising hell. I want you to hear me out. I actually thought it got better as it went along. Now, like I said, before anybody gets mad, listen to the whole discussion. Because some of y'all already, fuck, no. Okay. Why is this table so heavy? No, listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. Listen to the whole discussion. I didn't hate this as much as I thought I would. I am very disappointed and I am angry at certain things in here. But I have things to say about this that I thought I would not say. Let me just say this first of all. Whatever hate that this show is getting is well deserved. All right. The biggest problem with this is that it is called Good Times.
Yeah, it did remind me of Good Times.
It is called this original show right here, and it has nothing to do with that original show right there, other than they live in the projects and they're black. I don't give a fuck how much you drop James's name and say how they're related and making as many references. It has nothing to do with that. All right? And I have a big problem with that, because that means that they are just using the name for publicity. That's all you're doing. You could change the name of this show and it would not make one goddamn difference at all. At all. At all.
Agreed.
Like I said, if you watch the original show, these characters, none of them even behave like these characters in the original show. None of them have the same, there's not the same tone there as the original show. And I know this is animation, but just call it something different. It's not. If you watch, you don't know you never seen the original show.
Nope.
I just give you a little example. You can see this. And being an animation is no excuse. You could capture a little bit of what they were doing with that original show, but it is not that at all.
Well, if y'all excuse me, I gotta get ready for work.
Strutting like a peacock.
Why not, baby? You ain't short on hands. Oh, jam.
There was actual warmth and love, and maybe animation is not the thing for that unless they really just kind of really think it through, because you're not capturing that human interaction.
No.
that these characters had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what I'm talking about. There's there's no subtlety, there's no interaction. It's just people yelling.
Yeah, these characters are so exaggerated. These characters are so wild that they're kind of missing what was important to the show, and that was the chemistry and love and support that these characters gave each other. These characters are just here for the jokes.
And
You
those
know-
jokes suck.
Yeah, like I said, I have a big problem with that because, if you're not going to do the show, then just, you're using it. You're using it to just, and I can tell you, Netflix is probably happy that they get all this negative publicity because when they put that trailer out, they tore that ass up. And Netflix is probably like, good. That's exactly what we wanted. They probably called it Good Times just to piss people off.
Right.
I know they did. I
Yeah.
know they did.
Right. Somebody had to show it. It's like, what if you called it Good Times? I'm like, well, I wouldn't think we could. No, call it Good Times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I watch Good Times every night almost, and I can tell you that like they didn't care to capture one essence of that original show except for like name dropping every now and then. So it deserves all the hate it gets on that alone right there. Another big problem that's bringing the well-deserved hate with this is that trailer was terrible marketing. That trailer was awful marketing. That's why I say they really must have been Netflix. Okay, that's one thing to try to put this out here, maybe rub people the wrong way, maybe try to get attention. But there's black people behind this show.
Yeah.
All right, you know what I'm saying? There's black people behind this show, and that trailer was using the NAACP was 100% right. They put out a column saying that regardless of the content of the show, which some people tried to argue, wait until you see the show. Regardless of the content of the show, the NAACP was saying this, and I agree. They said you use stereotypes to market this show. And by the way, that marketing is a choice. A committee had to get together. People had to look at this, black and white and anything else. And y'all had to make that decision to put that out there, sell it this way. That thing was terrible. So, I see the hate with this.